We're good to go.
Okay, good evening. Thank you all for being here for our Thursday, February 19th. Municipal Park Foundation Board Special Call Meeting. Roll call, Ken Daniels.
Here.
Ashley Blythe present. William Pepper Allison.
Here.
Chris Ott.
Here.
Andrea Frazier. Here. Chris Colson is not present, and Jeffrey Cohen.
Here.
He's here. Awesome. Okay, could you stand and join me with the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, who art in heaven, be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. God is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
And William, you read the question?
Pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting other views, others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of the town of Alma.
Wonderful. Would you join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 4, unfinished business items. Consider A, consideration and discussion of the proposed quotes for the signs. So the 3 quotes that you have, Fast Signs, Sign Design, and Vivid Sign and Design were the 3 lowest quotes. Fast Signs, apologize, is by far the cheapest. And Sign Design were $492, but does not include installation of those. So my recommendation would be to go with Fast Signs, because it's the cheapest one. I mean, it's $376 per, and the next price up is $492, and that would not include post and installation.
What about Vivid Signs, the rate of 640, did that also include?
That would include installation and
Okay.
post, yeah. It would.
So if you're looking at the 2 comparables, Fast Signs and then Vivid Sign would be the both installations.
Yes, they would be.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So if y'all have any questions, or we can get a motion on the floor to proceed.
So Vivid is the cheapest, so is that correct?
Fast Signs. Well, hold on, $376 plus, I did not do this math before.
Well, there's only 3 signs with Vivid. Is that
That is, well, that's the question too, do we want to put the 4th sign at on the back on the green box sign? I think so, so she's gonna honor that price at that, so the 3 signs, she'll do 4 at the same price. The quote just doesn't have 4, does that make sense?
for Vivid?
Yes. Fast Designs, he quoted 4.
So I guess I'm still a little confused because it looks like for 4 signs for Fast Signs, the total is 3312. But for 4 signs for Vivid, it's 2803.
Well, that would be up because there's only 3 signs.
Oh, I thought you just said they would honor that same price for.
Well, no, they're not gonna give us a free sign, so that is a total price,
The rate.
yeah, that's the rate.
So it would be another 640, 180.
Not the 75 of the free,
Right.
yeah. So another 640 and 180 onto that 26.6.
So basically another 20
Right,
on top of that.
would come in about $3,400 on Vivid.
I'm okay with Fast Signs. The only thing that post screen view channel, is that just like that metal?
I think so, what it is, okay, cause he said it didn't need concrete, but he was like, those posts aren't gonna go anywhere, but I would love some feedback, cause I don't have any.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I mean,
Yeah.
the way he proposed it was, cause he said we could either do the woody posts or these ones, and I was. It's like whatever your expertise is, whatever you
Right.
think, and he suggested these.
Yeah.
But if, you know, you guys have more experience in And that, we agree.
The only thing about the post that I would say is that I would prefer metal over wood. Because the wood is gonna eventually rot and have to be replaced in a couple of years, and if these are metal, then I'm good with that.
What are your thoughts on those U-channel posts? Do you think they're flimsy? Yeah.
I agree though that metal is probably better, and it's kind of the looks of it. That's kind of concern,
Okay,
but I'm okay if you guys got it.
Yeah, I'm okay, I know
I mean, we've talked a lot officially about the park should have a certain look.
Yeah.
yeah,
Are we using wood or are we using that?
he said he's willing to work with us, if that
Okay,
means anything.
okay,
so,
If we had to make an adjustment, I know he was, when I met him, he was very eager and excited to potentially do this project, so I know he said he'd work with us as.
this is fast times,
Mhm.
okay,
So
he
he's,
was nice,
I've used them once before and they were good.
Yeah.
okay.
The quality of the sign was.
He did ask me for a Vesper image. Are you familiar with Vesper images? Is anybody here? Are you?
I know that Fast Signs has asked for that previously because it's easier for them to use that imaging on their sign management. I can try to create one if that's needed. I think they've worked with us before for getting the right JPEG imaging, because I was like, I don't have
I don't
the
have-
software to make a Vesper.
Okay, well, so we could probably, you can just put that in an email to me. I was like, I don't even know what that is. But-
I've worked with them before at other municipalities, and so I can try to see if they can work with us again.
Okay,
If this is the one to go for, and then this would also be coming from that PARD grant
right,
for the signs,
Right.
so then we would still have a little bit left over too for
okay.
signs.
Are you all good with that? Okay, so we'll put a motion on the floor to approve the fast signs quote for the signs at the park.
second,
Okay, any discussion? We just did that. Those agree? B, consideration and discussion of the recommended special event agreement for the use of town park. I know William and Andrea have been working on this, so I'll let them take the lead on this one.
I think realistically, I created one, but we want to kind of keep it streamlined and I guess kind of mock and pinnable. So this is the one that we have, Andrew created, so I'll have to let her take the lead on this one.
So I have William's document and he and I actually are gonna meet this week, so this is just gonna be a document tonight, bring you all up. to speed. Editing, go over that edits with him that I have suggestions. Some of it's being repetitive, and there were some questions in the way that wordage was, that the town was to be responsible with some things, and we don't want the town responsible for anything, just some minor changes there. But I did go ahead and retype this, the McClellanville document and made the edits that we had talked about last meeting. Catherine was very nice to go in and format it correctly for me, and, the reason why I'm pushing or recommending this one is that McClellanville's already got it in use, it's already been approved through legal. They've not had any issues or kickback with it, and their legal team is the same as, like, one of their lawyers is the same legal team that we use, so I think us getting our document through should not be an issue either, and to try to keep it as condensed as possible. But we'll meet this week and we'll finalize it, bring back another document next month.
Okay. Okay. C, consideration and discussion of the recommended budget for the park. I was unable to get with Chris.
Hang on, we're having some technical difficulty. Sorry.
No.
The owls to work with me. You're being very temperamental today.
Yes.
So I didn't mean to cut everybody off. Because we're still using it on my computer audio, so for those listening at home, I apologize. The board will be back soon.
So we got to skip break.
She just don't want to work with me tonight.
Was there anyone online?
I can look on YouTube really
Oh.
quick right now.
Yours. Does anybody attend our meeting?
I think we do get a lot of, we do have one person watching right now. So I apologize.
Oh. Here's some catch. Oh, that's.
We are still on YouTube being,
Perfect.
there we go. Now it's changed to that. I got the video going. We're back on now.
Okay, so we were at C, consideration and discussion of the recommended budget for the municipal park. Chris Colson and I are working on the budget. We'll have that to you by March. He left town and we were not able to connect on that. So do we need a formal motion to defer that, Catherine?
I would to defer it to
Yeah.
the next meeting because you deferred it at the last meeting.
Yeah,
as well.
and we'll have it before the budget retreat at the end of March, way before then.
Yes.
Yes, you will. You'll have it by our next park board meeting. Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to defer the consideration and discussion of the recommended park budget for the municipal park.
Second.
Awesome. Any discussion? Those agree?
Uh,
Okay,
And for clarity for the record, Ashley Blythe
Uh-huh.
made the motion to defer it to next month. Correct.
yes. Thank you for helping clear that.
You're welcome.
D, consideration discussion of the recommended master plan. This one's been Chris Ott's baby, so.
Not me. Do you want me to project it too?
Yeah, I didn't know you were making printouts, so. What? You guys wanna
Yeah,
look out
I
there?
think so.
We have to, seat here because it's about to get pretty bright.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Look at your eyeballs.
So I know last meeting we. Oh, wait.
Okay.
I'm not gonna read every slide, but I figured this is just an opportunity, I can take back any changes, edits, suggestions you guys have to put it in and make sure it is set before a council on their council retreat, which is coming up next week.
Yes, on the 26th.
So that was kind of the goal of this. I know when we talked with council, they kind of wanted some more visual things, or like what, great to have it written down, but show us a map or something. So I attempted to do that, but honestly, folks, this is to me like a working discussion.
Yeah.
No pride and ownership. My military background, I'm used to putting up stuff and letting it get tore apart. I mean, that's what we're here for, so.
Okay.
If you honestly have suggestions, formatting all the way to the content, yeah, let's hash it out and let me know. Just real quick, a lot of the pictures are just pictures I've taken with my drone, or they're actually park pictures, so I have that in there just for aesthetics, but I followed a little bit the outline of the town's comprehensive plan. It's by no means as in depth as theirs, but that's kind of the format. I think I might need to add like a table of contents or maybe breaks in this. I don't know.
I like the table of contents.
So, just a real quick on. So I put the park history, if you wanted to go back to that slide, that was just a recap. I think it's important for, future park board or anyone to realize, where the money came from. And just like we learned last meeting, from the Greenbelt folks that, we're kind of legally restricted for a passive use park, bottom line, so. That's that slide on park history. The next one, and stop me if you guys have any suggestions, we go through this. Why our park is special, that one, I was kind of interested myself. So we're actually the largest municipal park in the town.
Wow.
Municipal, right? James Island County Park is larger. But if you're just looking at a municipal park.
Right.
West Ashley is the closest, and then Hampton Park is, the next one, so. at 200, almost 300 acres, you know, it's kind of a big responsibility we have to manage this correctly. And then just some other facts. I think it is, I couldn't find the largest freshwater lakes, but there aren't many in Charleston County.
Right.
So I think we're probably one of the larger ones. That goes into, you know, the fishing and potential boating, you know. Also the East Coast Greenway, I know we don't talk about that a whole lot, but that trail's somewhat of a big deal. It's eventually supposed to connect Maine to Florida. And, you know, if you think long-term future of our park, it's like, kind of, they call it the Appalachian Trail for cyclists, but, it's for hiking and stuff too, so. You know, Appalachian Trail is like a significant trail for the United States, if, you know, we're. Kind of up there to have that connection, I think that's a really, good benefit for the future. We also. I was reading through one of the old comments, and I know some of the local groups that are interested in dark skies definitely wrote in there about the park, and we all know that it is, the Ogden in general is a dark place compared to Charleston. If you look it up, there's a map online that shows light pollution, and we're like one of the darkest areas in South Carolina on the coast. So that's a pretty significant thing as well for that, so, all right. You could scroll down to the next one, and again, please stop me.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where it gets a little bit in, and you like, these are just things like we talked about, and I tried to put in writing, but. Overall, I think I broke it up, so 10 years, right, if you went 2026, counted this year through 25 or 35. Excuse me, that'd be 10 years, so. Then I split it up into those phases, right, roughly, you know, 3 years each. Phase one is opening, you know, kind of what we're going through now. Phase two is like building the value with the park and the community, and then phase three is like, what's our long-term stuff, right? Any thoughts? You guys have anything for that, or are we on the right track?
I think it's on the right
I
track.
think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as we get closer, we'll develop these phases, I
Right.
think,
I
in more
agree.
detail.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you'll see later on, it's kind of phase three, there's a lot that could happen prior to getting to that one, right?
Right.
So, but I just wanted to emphasize to council that, hey, we're trying to do this deliberately. Trying to make partnerships and setting our board and the park up for the future, so.
Yeah.
That's that, all right. Then if we just go into like phase one, I call it the opening, foundational opening. Kind of put a goal and an outcome, like. Basically, when would, because we don't have to stay, we don't have to wait to 2028 and say like, hey, phase one is done, if we kind of hit our goal and we felt that. You know, because we're gonna work. We might be working on something in phase three right now, like a restroom, for instance, or something. So, yeah, open the park safely and simply, prioritizing the open space. I put that in there. I think the mayor kind of picked up on that as like emphasizing what we do have to offer. And right now, that's not a lot of like man-made amenities, but the nature space is amazing, right? So focusing on that. So it kind of builds from, hey, what's your objective? You know, down there on the left. What priorities would you have? And then the projects that we would go after to accomplish those things. Again, open to feedback if you guys like that, and that's kind of the.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I was actually,
Great time.
I was out there Tuesday, one of the days, and I went for a run. I love all of this. I think we put a lot of our focus kind of continued on like that, like the burn area, kind of that's gonna be our like major focus, because I'm assuming most people will be there anyways, that'll give us more wiggle room to get the trail started. So I love everything that you're doing, and but just being out there now, like, man, this is really like that peaceful and beautiful. I
Nice.
think just
Yeah.
just overlooking the lake on top of the burn. I think that's kind of like that's going to be the main part initially where people
Okay.
start hanging out at. So I love it still.
Yeah, thanks, Wade, but that comes down because I. Necessarily, like the first trail, I didn't focus on the berm, it was the
Mhm.
lake trail, but
Sure.
you're probably right,
Mhm.
like, and that would be easier
Yeah.
to do the.
There's already some
Okay.
stairs. There's already some
Yeah.
stairs that was already there. There's a couple of benches there. I think that could be like a primary focus for.
Okay. Yeah, and then some of it too, I just tried to show council, like, we're already working, you know, some of those. It's good, where you have a lot of projects that are already, getting after phase one, so. Yeah. thanks. So, again, this is my attempt at a map, I just use Google Maps and kind of overlay with PowerPoint, but, again, just kind of laid out the entrances. Right, entrance one, I say, I almost think we could throw this out to the community, like, we can name these entrances or something. You know, instead of like generic, like, oh, entrance one.
Yeah.
You know, you could call it something. I mean, you could get easy like east entrance, west entrance, or make them on name for local
Right.
almost even after like in military term, you know, you name it after certain figures in the town or that helped open the park, but
Yeah,
I don't know, it's just an idea. But right now I've got entrance 1, 2, right? So 1 is the main entrance for now. 2 being the entrance we open up for events, and 3 is like a future alternate one. And I was thinking long term, like maybe we hold entrance 2 as that main events, and in that way from Highway 17, you flow in, you can either use entrance 3 or entrance 1, depending on how you came down Door Road. Just a thought there, but again, focusing on entrance 1, already the parking lot's done. We're just waiting on the fence. I put in 2 locations for lake access. The only main reasons are it's close to parking for the primary one. And also, if you look, there's an old road, like it used to connect here. So it's very shallow there, and you can even see the old road here that it went over there. So I think those are good areas because it's like deep water close to the shallow areas for boat launching or piers or whatever we're thinking. So
How deep is it in the deepest spots?
don't know.
I know.
That's a great question. We should know that, but I think it is fairly deep because I heard that it was so steep. Because it was a mine, right, on the banks. Do
Right.
any of you guys know that? They came in and filled along the shoreline to make it shallower. So if someone fell in, they weren't like
Wow.
going into
Yeah.
8 foot, 10 foot.
Also, it wouldn't undermine.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, you can find a few deep spots. And every Christmas, let's put Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah.
You would create absolutely great habitat for fish.
Mhm. I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
So the other is like this area of the lake is pretty shallow. So I don't, you know, if you look another place for boat access or fishing access is over there. But again, I focused it down by the parking lot. That was I don't know if someone at council asked that. It follows the original concept where the primary location is. They had a boat launch there in that original.
Over here.
concept. Yeah. So,
That's good.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, you know,
It's a start.
yeah.
All right.
And the guy that did our parking lot said he would be interested in quoting trail work to get started. So I can pursue that a little bit, because none of those, the ideas that's proposed
Yeah, so yeah, like since it's phase one, like the entrance, I put gravel a lot under construction, but.
Mhm.
I mean, that trail, the blue trail is there, it's a road, but
Yeah.
like we talked about, it needs work. But not a ton of work to
I
make
agree.
it passable, mostly in the
So would
top.
that be low hanging fruit that could be
Yeah.
done?
I think so.
I think so. I mean, I think you can call that kind of trail one, you know,
Yeah.
or whatever clever name we come up
And the
with.
Williams Point, really, the purple, that's the overlook trail, that's what
I like that.
That's probably the easiest.
Yeah.
The berm,
Yeah.
It's a good workout too.
you know,
Yeah.
it's like
Sticker
the,
stuff for sure.
it's the biggest hill in the world.
Yes.
Do that for the trails, cause it could get expensive and like for the up part too, where it is wet, if we wanna make sure that it's dry. I would do a formal proposal for that one, cause I know of other companies that have reached out to me at different conferences that would be interested in assisting with that kind of infrastructure.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't do it as like the informal quotes that we've gotten, cause I feel like that's gonna come in a bigger price tag.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And then I think once the trails are in, like getting organizations to sponsor the trail for upkeep is an idea. I know, actually, you mentioned like AmeriCorps or something.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of bring that up during chair report, but it's relevant now, so I had a really good conversation with, I think it's the land resource planner at Charleston County Parks and Rec, and he gave some really good resources for trail building. And kind of how they do it, they, use AmeriCorps. They wanna come in and give them practice on building real life trails, you know? So I've got a couple of things I'm pursuing there. They also were interested in helping us with some design specialists and stuff. It made me realize how much work that really is between design and surveys, topography studies, permits, like, you know, I think it's to Catherine's credit, what she was just saying, I think it's a little bit more detailed than, you know, just, yeah, having a roller come out there and an excavator and roll, yeah, I think it's,
Yeah.
but that's what we want,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and when you see this map, I know you guys know it, but even when I was just doing it today, like this half of the park. Like we only really see like half of it, right?
Right.
There's this whole section over here.
That area to walk in is really special.
Yeah, yeah. I don't walk it that much.
Yeah, I
I don't
don't
walk
walk
it
any of
here
that.
very much. So, so you'll see in phase three, that's like, hey, we're kind of focused on the lake area, but there's a lot of potential exposure on that side.
That area only, I guess that's what southeast, it lends itself to kind of moving them restoratively toward the low country woods,
Yeah,
like the maritime forest. That's something to work with.
okay.
And it's got some pretty trees and so forth back there. But most of it's just tall
Yeah.
grass and weeds.
And,
Right.
and then if you didn't know, that's the Greenway Trail. You can see it connects with Door Road up there in the top right corner.
Mhm.
There's a small trailhead there, little parking lot, sign. And then it goes all the way down, and that's what I was saying in the meeting. The Ondot built a very expensive boardwalk. Like 2
Can you
years.
show us where
ago.
that is?
It's not on.
Okay.
But it's right behind this new development, Pamlico Terrace. Is that how you say it? Yeah,
Pamlico Terrace.
yes, that boardwalk, if you go to the end of that, so. Then it just kind of ends in this, what is this development here, the white door?
Yeah.
Track?
The white one.
It ends at that development.
I think
And
that's,
that's why I thought, like, if we could talk with them, we could get it brought. I know the developers maybe aren't into, but it would help, I think, as
We have their
an
image.
image,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and I think,
and bring it out here to the town hall. And then, like, I just hate to see that boardwalk go to waste, I don't think anyone uses it, and
I didn't know.
there's a lot of money put in that.
I know, Kent walks that. And he goes in, walks on that boardwalk.
there's also I believe Cause they have different names too. There's one called Romaine Bay Preserve, which I believe is the same one. So like door track, there is the East Coast Greenway dedicated easement through there.
Okay,
So
because
it goes all,
ends.
it goes all along down it and then like 50 feet, like it's a dedicated public one.
Okay. The reason I say that is like, I think that's pretty cool that we're connected here to town hall to the park with a trail all the way up there. And then eventually that trail is supposedly gonna be connected to other communities,
Yeah.
all that, so. Some of it's already there, okay. Any thoughts or?
This question, so obviously, discussion, how do we feel about, well, two questions. Do we have handicap, accessible parking spaces? Is that gonna be,
That is an excellent question.
yeah, because I try to think about the handicap, I mean, obviously, everything is close, no matter what, how you park out there, but, I just. Think about was the ADA, yeah, for the bathroom and stuff, so we gotta try to make everything handicap accessible.
Yeah,
Can we just, like, where the gravel is, could we just put, can we designate some areas and put signs there? That would, and then that way, if it goes to the gate, and then,
the other is,
Sure.
the porta potties are,
Mhm.
they've been
yeah.
wheelchair accessible,
Right.
so if we're gonna get one, we might as well get.
I agree.
handicap one,
Mhm.
which are nicer anyway.
Yeah.
right, they're bigger.
And my second question is, how do we feel about like a smaller parking lot for gate 3 in the future, maybe? If we're gonna actually, since it's a trail on that side,
Mhm.
you know, maybe not like, maybe half the size of gate 1.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think that gate 3 is a nice.
It is.
I mean, I like that area down there.
Yeah. I agree, yeah.
and it's just another gee whiz thing, cause it's on one of the original documents, there's an old cemetery.
I've
That's
seen that.
right to the right side of.
Is that what that is? Okay.
So I don't know if anyone
Okay.
I
has
saw it.
history on that, but I think it is a. Park property, or maybe the park just kind of goes around that, but. There might be a service project or something we could connect to the park to connect to the community.
I love
Because
that.
it's kind of a district. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. Some
We can
folks
figure
are-
out the history
put
there.
Some flowers out there.
so someone's visited that.
Alright. Yeah, that's a good point on that. I don't really. I think as long as we get it equally accessible,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So we have the porta potty and a designated spot or two, I think we will be okay for now. Yeah.
Is this pretty constant level? Does it, you know, when it doesn't rain, is it still full? I haven't been,
The lake level?
yeah,
Yeah, I've never seen it fluctuate.
I haven't either, but I've tried to go in it more often and pay attention to the water level. I haven't seen it change dramatically. I'm guessing there's enough groundwater to keep it full.
Yeah, I think it's a really pretty well designed lake. I don't see it flood or go down in level, so.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right,
Right.
next one, sorry to think, you can go from there.
No,
So this is like fake current progress, we already talked about these, but showed a picture of the cameras, that's the signs we're getting, they're already up. In all the entrances, it's just we're getting bigger, nicer. And I just took those pictures today, that's what the gravel parking lot looks like, it's nice, he went. Thanks to Ashley, I don't know if you convinced him to take the gravel all the way out to the road. Or what, but. they
adjusted
did.
it,
Yeah,
but
so,
it looks good,
Mhm.
as long as we can keep people fair enough.
yeah, someone.
Someone's already.
Oh, I saw, yeah.
The ruts?
Yeah, I thought it was sideways, it was like, how did you miss it?
Yep, all right, next one. This is phase 2, all right, so this is kind of what we need to be planning for now, expand recreation. Improve comfort and accessibility, kind of goes into that ADA and restrooms and all that. The other big part is maintenance, once you build more stuff, you gotta maintain it, right? Continue to develop our identity and increase partnerships. And I know you brought up like RAI, we brought up AmeriCorps. we need to be thinking of those like long-term partners, so we don't have to do all the work. Like if someone will come out and volunteer to take care of trails, that's something we don't have to pay for maintenance on.
I think too, some of the dock builders that build these docks along the waterway,
Mm,
you know, you build, these are set up the docks, but they could at least, get, you know, they can get their name on
yeah,
them. Because,
donated by
yeah,
X
I mean,
dock building,
anywhere we can find somebody that wants to get their name shown,
yeah,
I think
okay.
worth pursuing.
Yeah, so in this one. Again, guys, what do you think? Priorities would be permanent restroom facility. Trail network enhancements, lake improvements like. Studies for fish and fish habitat and. All those things, a pavilion possibly, I put in possible park manager position, I think long term, that's something.
At a minimum, within probably the next 3 to 5 years, there's gonna need to at least be a part-time person,
Yeah.
you know.
And ADA accessible upgrades, projects. Restroom facility. Trails here, you guys can read them, something that was mentioned in some of all the conceptual stuff that Catherine said is just like native landscaping restoration, so. That's something I wasn't thinking about too much, again, I know council brought it up. About that, right, Lynn Vickery's brought it up about.
Yeah.
So. I think we could get, again, maybe volunteers say, hey, we pay for the trees or the plants and get volunteers to do planning, service projects, those type of things will be. Be possible, but it wasn't mine and it was planted with pine, right? So it isn't necessarily a marine coastal forest, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a managed forest, and it's not being managed, was your point, right?
I think that if we could manage it and begin a process of replacing those with longleaf pine, it would be consistent with what's going on in the national forest.
Okay,
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And maybe we could coattail some of their work.
yeah. And again, we need help with that.
Yeah, I agree, I agree.
I've also,
I know, I could, use my.
I've been working through a roundabout kind of way in the civil biology department. I have one of my close friends and has a PhD from Duke, he graduated from the Citadel. He's very involved in the biology department. And going with him to the professors and all that, he knows well is faster than going through the Citadel bureaucracy. So that's in play
Okay,
to see if we can get a professor to basically look at this whole thing from a biological and you know, flora and fauna and all of it, long-term look at it. What do we plant? What, you know, how does all this work together? And so that at some distant time, it's not neglected, it's continuously moving in that positive direction. And I think we can get that done, and if we can't, then we'll go to College of Charleston. But I think somebody will want to have something like this close. That's not, it's not saltwater. This is it's a freshwater park.
Yeah.
And there's a huge amount of low country that is
Yeah.
freshwater impoundments. I think I'm pushing it to see,
okay.
yeah, but it's kind of slow going.
It happens, thank you for pushing.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
So the same on the land you have on the water too, you know, like lake improvements and things, right? If you don't have the right pH in the lake, the fish won't thrive, all those. They don't have enough food, so we have to think about those. So. All right, next one, this is just a map, so here I start putting in like. That peninsula area I labeled as like a restoration for native plants because it's pretty bare. It's just pines out there on the, well, I think it's some deciduous trees surrounded by pines, but and then highlighting the event area as we progress on. I put the restroom facility at the parking lot with the shelter kind of around the parking lot. And then you know, another trail loop. The red trail and that yellow peninsula trail, so.
Nice.
It's good. Okay. It's good. All right, next one. So this is a little ways out, but not crazy. It's looking. Financial sustainability, I think is a big one, right? So we don't move, basically, I say we don't move into this phase till we've shown that the park can operate effectively, right? You don't
Yeah.
wanna keep adding more till you're doing well. So. This is maybe where we start really thinking those long-term signature developments or features to add. Again, these are just. So. The event lawn, whatever we're gonna call it, you know, with. Power access, the habitat restoration, expanded parking areas and additional restroom, all that. You can go to the map here. I mean, this is the last slide. So if we are a park, I guess, committed to conservation, you know. Maybe that part of the park we don't develop that much, you know, that I have in that conservation area. I don't know where the best place for that is, but I thought it's. Over there on that side, because that would take. You did want, you'd have to cut trees and build roads and trails, so. Why do that there? Maybe that's where we do our habitation or habitat enhancements.
What's the pit that's over there close to you?
Yeah, it's like right.
Yeah, that's one of those things that you don't want little kids messing
Now,
around
we
because
would have to get that filled.
it fills up when it rains.
Yeah.
And it turns into a giant mud pit.
Yeah, it's not safe. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's steep walls and,
I
but,
think, you think that was just somewhere they're taking dirt to do something else?
yep,
Yeah.
I think they needed filled dirt somewhere and dug it out. But that's, yeah, well, to your point, I did put another parking lot there. I don't know, maybe it's a bigger lot. I mean, that's where we see how much use we're getting.
Yeah.
And we adjust, cause there's room there to do a bigger parking lot.
I think the surface is better to work with too.
And then, but I did put the restroom. Down by entrance too, I mean, this is long term, guys, but we might get that question, I don't know. Does the restroom go over by the parking area, but that's pretty far out there, if you've ever walked it, so
Yeah.
kind of. You know, like, to William's point, if most people are gonna walk on that overlook trail. That's separated by about a half mile,
Sure.
your two restroom facilities, I don't know, and then shelters. Again, you know, there and where that, I call it a pavilion, is, I don't know, is stage a bad word?
I would not use stage.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Wouldn't have you said.
covered shelter, something.
Gazebo.
Have you been to the park, the county park? That in Mount Pleasant is on the water. It's over there near Boone Hall and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Palmetto.
Palmetto.
There are a bunch of different size shelters, picnic areas and so forth. They might be a good thing just to look at,
Yeah,
to see, you know, what's
What they have
possible.
and what we could do.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good examples that those things get used a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a boat launch, a public boat launch
Yeah.
over there, isn't
It
there?
is.
Palmetto Islands. Right?
Yeah.
And they've managed that thing really well. I mean, our church uses, when we do stuff outside, you know, bring your, a potluck type thing, we use one of those shelters.
I think when the birthday parties there.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
All right, I think that's it, so it kind of just ends there. Any suggestions as far as? I can have a wrap it.
I think it's good.
This is
Right.
awesome.
I think it's work in progress, right? Like it's gonna be developing, but this is something that council can have before their retreat, so they can see where we're at. We can give them a visual.
Progress.
Yeah,
And
progress,
What's
that's right.
being done.
Do we need this approved, like? I think this is our recommendation, right?
Yeah.
So that's all the ordinance says, right? We recommend the council. do they actually, do we need a comprehensive plan approved?
They
or
have
a
a
Master plan, what are you gonna call it, master or comprehensive, I don't know. You
I would-
had master, I think, yeah,
Yeah, I would put master plan.
okay.
Do we need to vote on it?
I would say
I
that
would.
if this is your recommended master
Yeah.
plan for the council to adopt, I would say yes, this is the recommended. Master plan, this is our thoughts and feelings of how we move forward with the park. So then that way council's got an idea.
Okay.
And then if they have any edits or something, we could kick it back and say, can you look at these things?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll put a motion on the floor to recommend the Alabama Municipal Park Master Plan.
Second.
Any discussion? Does agree?
Aye.
Screen share and get it. The lights.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah, you did very good.
I mean, it's everyone's comments, so it's just.
Yeah, but you consolidated and put the maps together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you did that.
Yeah, you did that.
Because, if council was absolutely know from the map from, yeah, you.
They asked for
Great.
visual, they got it.
Yeah, you did everything there, it's just, honestly.
Okay, let's move on. Update on request for staff to provide login credentials for the cameras in the municipal park.
Yes, I need to get it too. It is on the top priority on my to-do list. I'm sorry that I keep getting highlights.
Okay.
I got a question, is it, so I was, may I put this wrong? I thought we said it moves, it's like motion sensor, and I was looking at them and they weren't falling, so I don't know.
Well, I think on the inside they're.
Oh, and, okay, cool.
Were you dancing or like?
Yeah, no, I don't think it physically.
Okay, I got you, and then is it,
Or you can confirm if they're not working properly
Okay.
with T-Mobile to make sure that
Yeah.
they are, but.
It does rotate,
a little, okay.
Does it?
and I found it too, that it didn't fall,
I
You're
can
fine.
reach out to T-Mobile to ensure that it is moving, because if they're not moving, then we have defective cameras, we need to get that.
Right,
Right.
and then night vision, is it like is it at night?
They're kind of like the ones here, they
Okay.
have like some
I
night
think probably
vision.
just cover whatever available.
Yeah.
Like a trail cam where you just get like,
Mhm.
if they're like black
Mhm.
and white, but if there is movement, you'll see.
Gotcha,
Like you
okay.
can see animals' eyes, like they'll. be
Right.
Okay.
I don't think you
Yeah.
can read a license plate, but you'd probably be able to see like the type of.
Vehicle, okay.
That's my guess.
Yeah,
And we're gonna put alligator signs out, right?
Yes,
most definitely. Yes.
And what they, people even with small ponds. You know, near where, back behind where you live,
Mhm.
even they occupy those ponds and the alligators usually proportionate to the size of the pond.
Yeah, we've seen some big ones in there. Okay, anything else there, guys? Okay, F, request for park board, business cards and park board email addresses. I know you're working on that too.
yeah, so they'll be from Vistaprint. Does everybody want, like every single person, or is it just the chair, vice chair? Operations, because that was gonna be the next thing that I was gonna ask too, if it's each individual member, because not everybody has access to the park board email.
Well, but if they're out working, getting quotes, they could just hand it out. Like if you get a box of them printed, and you just hand out a handful to
I
everyone.
think it would be helpful when we're going to sponsors or people we asking to join us in doing things and, you know, people at college, universities, REI, or those kinds of places, having a card would be a good thing.
Okay.
Just making sure I'm getting the right.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you asking that. Okay, and G, update on bench project. And there, we don't have those U1 quotes. There's no.
I didn't print them out, but I can pull it up to
Okay.
a new line. Like I did the last meeting. That we had when we talked about them, where we were looking at the
So
Plaza
we're not
bench.
going with the, this is grant money, we weren't going with the U line because they have to be put together, but I've ran with a few volunteers. So if we can get them ordered, I think we can get the benches put together, no problem.
And this was the the plaza benches before, they were with the recycled plastic planks that are never need sealing or painting or staining. They're also they have two different ones here, pull it up so it's easy for us to see.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. And I'll share the screen with everybody watching at home too.
We gotta turn on them.
Oh, I have that too. So, sorry about that. So it was this one, so the 8 foot is the one that's longer, and then the 6 foot is kind of like you kind of. I didn't think that they had like these in the middle part right here, but this is what that bench would look like, and so the two different prices. So if you get. Assuming you get like more than like about 3, they're about 1,020 per. If you get one, it's just the 1,055. If you do the 8 foot metal frame, it's the 1,450 or the 1,395. So you get a little bit of a discount if you purchase it in a different color. They also have to, if we wanted to see like that's cedar, this is brown, so this is the 6 foot plaza bench. So again, it doesn't have that little middle arm right there. And then the gray. They said that the gray was not available, but that's what it looks like.
6 foot or 8 foot?
I don't know about back.
From a cost perspective, I think 6 foot, because we could do more,
Right.
we could get more.
I
And
just want to show you the colors too again. What they look like.
it's okay.
No, you're good. Do you know the total on that grant for those benches? I don't have it in front of me.
I also don't have that in front of me, but I can provide that before we make the approval. I can print it out and be like, here's the total for the grant, here's what it costs for
I
the
didn't bring my grant folder.
Yeah.
the construction.
But I do like the 6 foot.
Anybody else? Thoughts? 6 or 8?
So again, this is what the 6 foot looks like.
I'm okay with the 6 foot. I mean, like I said, with us being newer and I don't anticipate the world being out there the first couple of months, so
right.
it may give us some opportunity.
And these benches we were gonna put at the top of the berm, right?
The top of the berm, and then I think also some at the bottom of the berm too, so it was like scattered throughout that area underneath the stairs, is the way that it looked like on the park grant. I can absolutely confirm it too with the scope of that project for the benches, because there were two separate ones.
Yeah, I think there's more of a smaller bench is
Then a
better than.
The
Yeah.
larger ones.
the
What
large.
about colors?
So the
Not more
6
colors.
foot comes in the.
I've had
cedar.
that, excuse me, I had that composite on my dock and on my, out in the sun. The darker colors work better because they don't, you can get the mildew off of them, you can't get it off the really light colors. I've got white ones and dark green ones, the green ones are always easier to take care of. And it's the same kind of
What about
composite.
temperature?
Yeah, what about temperature?
What about temperature? Like
Oh, the darker it is, the warmer it will be.
the warmer it'll be.
But it's not, this composite stuff is actually, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
And, but I've got dark green ones and, you know, they're not a problem. But the white ones are horrible to take care of, to clean. I use my pressure washer and Clorox.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see us doing that.
No.
Okay. Well, that's good feedback.
See, the green isn't available, correct?
No, the green is available in the 6 foot,
Okay.
Okay.
because that's why they're showing the different colors. They were saying the asterisk right here was only on this model number, that the green wasn't available.
I don't think they have anything that light anyway. All of it's got a fair amount. The amount of the more pigment there is in there, the less space there is for mildew and things to form.
Okay. I'm for cedar brown. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
Just-
cedar.
It looks more natural.
Yeah,
Right.
something natural, it looks like wood, the wood.
And at the last meeting too, I mentioned that we can get little plates.
Mhm.
So it was like 35 for like aluminum. That costs for like a bench plate if we wanted to start having these being dedicated.
I think that idea.
Yeah,
And I noted that we would be using recycled plastic and they said that they would be able to do it too.
You can get the plates from you on as well?
It would be from the place where we got all of our nameplates. So it's All American Awards and Mount Pleasant. Okay.
Okay,
So would that be like a fundraiser of some sort, where somebody can, make donations or
Yeah,
whatever?
in memory.
And then we-
Yeah.
And you can set it at a different price too, so like the price per plate, and then if you wanted to add a little bit more to cover, to have it as a donation.
No.
The city of Folly Beach did it with their brick program, so they said like they had different bricks that you could purchase as they were redoing
like
Center
that.
Street. You could have a dedicated brick, so it covered the cost of the brick with an additional donation.
Okay. You can get that grant information to us
Yes.
on our next meeting. That
Yes,
way
I can get the
forward to
grant
that.
information for the next meeting, print it out again where it looks like it with everything.
Yeah,
And then for the construction part for the I would also include like who is going to be, that I was really, so I can't help you today. If it's going to be but the cost was, I think, from the, or if it was truly donated, I would still include who's doing the work.
yeah, yeah, I have no doubt, we can wrangle volunteers to put them just together.
So did we wait to make a motion? So are we on, agree with this?
Well, this was just an update,
Okay.
so it wasn't an action item to take any votes.
Okay.
Get their lights back on. What are those? These are just our subcommittees, actually, you have to be one of those sub. I'm sorry, that's okay. That's okay. I can get real quick. I just wanted to take a minute, I know our subcommittees are already meeting pretty much, I know we're all kind of. Doing things within them, but I wanted us all just to see it on paper, to see where we were, who was on it. Events and community engagement, boy, you need some help out there. Andrew, you've been working on that event, I know you and I had kind of talked about it and. Talked with her before, because I didn't want to bring it up in the meeting and catch you off guard, but would you be willing to be
Sure.
on that? Okay. So I'll,
correct the spelling of my name.
yes, will you spell it for me real quick?
Frazii.
Okay, so I've got the I in that place, yeah, okay, I will correct that, I'm sorry for that. So I make a motion to put Andrea Frazier on the events and community engagement subcommittee.
Second.
Any discussion? Those agreed?
Aye.
Ayes. And then also that one, and this could be up to y'all, but it doesn't have a chair. Doesn't necessarily have to have a chair. And then any thoughts on the other? Committees?
Maybe you wanna take the chair now, I'm the chair of the legacy and cultural, so if you wanna just, you can, be honest, you know, you just.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, that's fine.
Okay.
We'll just do that.
Okay. Alright. But that's all I have with that. That was more just to kind of show. Where we are. Andrew, I'm sorry, I spelled your name wrong.
A lot of people put an S in there.
Mhm.
but it was an S.
I knew it was Z, but I didn't, the I caught me, but I will fix that. Okay, anything else there, subcommittee before we move on? Any other questions or?
Mm.
Okay. The recommended ribbon cutting event date. So I'm not thinking a huge festival here. I don't even think like food and refreshments really, but let's get the media out there. Let's get our current council, former council, mayors out there, just, hey, it's a ribbon cut and the park is open. I prefer to not wait till after May to do that, since it's gonna get very hot.
Yeah.
So just,
I had put a date of April 11,
Yeah,
but that, I didn't look at the calendar and I don't have kids in school, so I didn't pay attention to it, but that's like the last weekend of spring
Spring
break.
break,
So maybe we should bump it to the next week.
which would be the 18th. And this doesn't have to be a big day-long event.
No.
This can. this-
I mean, I put on there 10 to 2, but we could just do it, I mean, it really could just be done in an hour.
Right, we get some pictures, we get some
Like,
money and
everyone get the TV there, then, channel 2, channel 5, Post and Courier. Council people, county council, Greenbelt individuals. Maybe 50 people.
yeah, so is it community invited? or-
Yeah, but these,
This is-
the-
that's-
the significant,
Right,
I don't mean significant.
yeah, I know.
The dignitaries.
But yeah, you
Put
should
it
put it on the website.
And we send out printed invitations
Yes, I can.
to those, and then they'll be open.
Yeah,
The only, I like that idea of keeping it low key, but
Yeah.
maybe. For those folks that show up and maybe some are elderly or something, maybe like, some way to go through the park, like.
okay,
At the craft festival, there is a hayride,
There-
and I'm not saying we put everyone on a hayride, but,
but I follow your thought.
yeah, like some way to
Some way.
tour the park a little
Mhm.
bit,
They offer tours so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
just
like that. It's pretty bad about us. Okay, well, how do we feel about the 18th?
What?
How do we feel about April 18th?
It's pretty good for me.
I feel okay.
No.
The only event I know is it's the cycling event, and I was trying to look
Is
up.
that-
Oh, yeah, when
Is that, that's in
No, I
April, it is in April, but I don't know
What?
when it is.
It's called Cycle the Low Country, is that right?
Yeah, double check it while we're here, because that, I did.
It doesn't-
About that.
Yeah, that would be. Good.
Yeah. If I just type in Cycle the Low Country, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't bring it up.
Not the Low Country.
That might be it, right, the low country.
Okay. April
11th and 12th,
Yeah,
So it's the weekend before.
so that worked out well, yeah,
Okay, perfect.
okay.
Okay, well, unless y'all have some disagreement on 18, I'm gonna put a motion on the floor to establish a ribbon cutting event on April the 18th, 2026.
It would be recommending to the council to the.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
recommended to council, and then, we need to recommend to council also financing for printing of limitations, postage, mailing.
Yeah,
Well, I would say like for the full event, I could feel like that would be part of it.
Yeah, so should we put a dollar amount in that recommendation as well, or make that a separate motion?
You can do it all in one for the recommendation for ribbon cutting and to consider costs for invitations not to exceed.
Expenses.
Mhm.
Okay.
what do you think the number looks like?
Invitations don't, I mean. We can get some really nice invitations done pretty, just like in Vistaprint and stuff like that. We can create it. I might even ask, cause. If you look at our septic tank flyer, Takia actually created that, like that design and stuff like that too, so if we wanted to potentially ask her to create it too.
Yes.
But I don't wanna put her on the spot without talking to her first.
Of course.
Watching it on YouTube, just gonna be like, what did you?
What did you get?
But something to consider, we can do it in-house to get that out.
Okay.
And then on our website, social media to the public. And then for county council and stuff, I would probably suggest. Are you thinking of the printed ones to send to them?
For them, yeah.
And then to the old members of council and old mayors, there'll be a
Yeah.
printed one as well.
Yes,
And then maybe some on the Greenbelt.
and like Tim Penninger, he was very involved in council and the park stuff many years ago. Bill Wallace was very involved, he would get a printed invitation. Gregory, I think we should invite him because was involved with the town. I'm not really sure who else, I don't really have any other.
If it gets approved, you guys can come up with a list and be like, hey, this is what we're thinking of.
Yeah.
Because then it would be back in the park board to kind of facilitate that event.
Yeah,
Okay, so back to that motion. There's a motion on the floor to recommend to council for a ribbon cutting event on April the 18th, 2026. Second,
Second,
Discussion, those agreed?
Yeah.
And just to clarify for the record, because we were discussing costs too, did that also include for that vote, the cost not to exceed?
Yeah. I just
Are we
thinking
thinking
that
$300, $500?
Well,
I would s-
are we gonna go with Chris's idea as well for the elderly people to get them around? Is that
That would
a little
increase the
more,
cost.
maybe a little more.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that.
I think it's a great idea.
I love
Well,
that.
why don't we do two things? So one thing would be to recommend the date to get that approved and then come up with the whole scheme of getting a full price package to then recommend to the council. Before like the next, like, at our next meeting, we would have the full event package prepared for it.
But our next meeting would be after the council meeting, so then it would bump, right? Our next meeting is gonna be after the council's.
But that way we're not going forward with all the costs and stuff. If they're like, we wanna have the event. And then at the council meeting, it would say, yes, let's have the event. Park board come up with the schematics for it, for like the costs and stuff. We would have it at the next meeting and we could still move forward to advertise it and stuff. Or they could discuss it too, there, like. At that meeting, we can have staff ready to prepare it.
Okay, so. Their next council meeting is next week, March 5th. If then we go back at our next meeting, which would be March 12th, the 10th, somewhere around there. That's when we come up with our budget. It doesn't go back to council until April. You have a calendar there?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what
See
you
what I'm saying? That only gives us a week and a half to get that approval, so I think we need to decide on a dollar amount. With the transportation and moving people around, what does something like that cost? Should we up it to $2,000?
What do you think, Jennifer?
I mean,
I know you've done some events. I mean, can we do it and keep it small?
I mean, it depends on what we wanna have, we just talking about. A track, the full trail around there, we want something out there where you got a tent, with some tables and chairs to sit down, whatever. It all depends on how elaborate we wanna be.
Yeah.
I mean, I think. I mean, my humble opinion, you probably might wanna have a tent out there, some tables and chairs, maybe some beverages or something. And just go from there.
At least water.
At least water, I mean,
Right.
but we do have some elderly around here, probably need to be, you know.
I
I
agree.
think you could keep it simple, like maybe after the event, what I was thinking is. We just get some volunteers, 3 to 5, that would say, hey, I'm taking a group up on the berm for a short hike to the overlook. And this one is going around the lake, for a more vigorous hike. And then for those that. Can't do the hike, we have a few golf carts or something available.
Right.
That's how it's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
That's simple, yeah.
I mean, you might only have a couple people that say, yeah, let's go for a walk.
right.
I mean, maybe just one golf cart, I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
It doesn't have to be elaborate, I was just thinking for those, some elderly folks that were instrumental in getting the park
I agree.
going and would like to see it. That's all, so, I don't know about that.
I've got a little Kubota tractor that'll work fine for that, if somebody's got a trailer that's safe, I mean, big walk
Yeah.
off.
I'll find the trailer.
We don't-
I've got a couple of neighbors with golf carts too. I'm sure we can wrangle some.
That was all, or caravan.
Okay, well, let's get back to that number. What do you think we should ask? I do agree. Let's get it to council. It's a package.
If we can really finagle and get golf carts and stuff like that, I would. Maybe under 1,000, no more than 1,000.
What do you think, Catherine?
Less than that.
Is it go big or
We
go
need less,
home
Jeff?
and go 1,500 if we're gonna do beverages? Does the town have a tent that we can put out there? We have a small tent, it's only a 10 by 10.
We do have the 10x10s, they all do say the Blue Crab Festival on it too. They're, cause they were left over from there, so they have like kind of all in all Blue Crab Festival. It does get pretty windy though, the last time we did try to put up a tent, it blew away.
Oh, yeah.
As long as we get the stakes and stuff.
What about $2,000? And we'll try to keep it under, but it gives us something to take to them.
Right.
I agree. If we push that again,
you're now looking at 2 weeks to put an event together, and we need more time on that. Okay, so the motion on the floor is to recommend to council a ribbon cutting event on April 18th, 2026, with a max budget of $2,000.
Second.
Okay, in discussion, those agree? Aye. Okay. Number 6, chair report. Entrance 1, the parking lot's done. Looks good. I talked to the fencing guy today. They were waiting on a permit, which we talked about that last week and that wasn't an issue. And so on the phone with her, she's like, it looks like it's disappeared out of our system. So she's looking into it. I was gonna ask you separately if I could get someone to look into that on Monday, when it sounded like it's more on Superior Fences end, not on the town end, but I'm glad I called and checked because it just had kind of stopped. Yeah. So she told me permit approved, they call the locates, they're out there within 2 weeks. But I mean, I'm gonna stay on that because I mean, we're coming up to that ribbon cutting, yeah, it's cutting that real
I'm
close.
surprised by that, because I did notify planning staff that they would be on the lookout for it too,
Yeah.
so. I'm not-
And I don't know that it really was on when I was in, because Erin from Superior Fence, she's like, I don't see it in my system at all now, she's like, but I know that I put the request in, and I'm like, I definitely did put the request in, but can you put the request in again? It just sounded somewhere, but if you could just keep an eye on that coming in, yeah. Also, I mentioned this earlier when you were talking about the master plan, but I did have a really good conversation with the resource plan developer at Charleston County Parks and Recs. He got just a little, kind of a guideline on some of the building the trails, what it's taken to build those trails, the construction, the permitting, the maintenance, the whole process, the ADA compliance thing, I think there's a lot there for us to think about. And I know Catherine, you mentioned there were some other organizations too who would be interested in helping us, so maybe we can get those contacts and, that's kind of some stuff I'm working on. Public comments? And board member comments. Oh, wait, there was something here. This is from you, Jerry. Okay, I didn't see this before. Sorry, I didn't want to skip over. You want to talk about this now?
Sure, no problem. I was asked to, come up with a price for portlets out of at the park. And it came up to a fee of $500 a month. And that's with me maintaining it, making sure it's clean and ready to go anytime. That's with, and with also with a handicap.
That was my question.
That's
That's
one would be handicap, one would be regular. So. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna call and get some other quotes from other places, but that's my quote. And I also, for the public comment stuff, and I hate to be sound like I'm just promoting myself, but I know I can do a tent out there with some tables and chairs and whatever else you gotta need out there for the ribbon cutting. And it'll be way under $500, so.
okay.
I mean, I don't know what else you can do, but the tent, I can do a tent out there, tables and chairs, and whatever. And you can bring a sound system if you need something,
I know a DJ.
Huh?
I know a DJ.
All right.
Oh, you are too?
Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but maybe you consider it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have no problem with it. I mean, because whether I do it for free or for pay, still somebody's listening, you never know who's gonna hear you.
Right, right.
So you're advertising your business, so.
Okay, well, thank you for getting us that quote. That gives us something to gives us a starting point,
All right,
right? We're gonna put the porta potties out
I
there.
think, by the way, this message on here is the thing we need to be sure that the media gets, this why it's different. This is a good piece
Mhm.
to
I
be
agree.
talking to the media about comparative to the rest of the county. With the growth, there's recent growth, it's on this side of Mount Pleasant. And all of the Dunes West and all the rest of that stuff, there should be a lot of attention to a place that you can go like this.
I agree.
And we got our own development going on, but that development has been just astronomical.
Right,
A lot of people.
yeah, I agree.
I want to know a spot, I'm telling you, I mean, those, all the traffic, especially from that side field, man. Good gracious.
It's always busy, isn't it?
That's one of the interesting things. I watched that thing growing up and I am so impressed with how they got so much, how the down light works on that. You can be coming down
Yeah, they can
17
do-
when it's on and you don't see it till you get there. That's just fabulous.
Okay. Any other board member comments?
I just have one with that's cycle to low country. Has anyone, that gentleman who was in charge came and spoke at council way back,
Okay.
like, and has anyone heard from them? Because I just looked up on their website and they're really promoting having it at the town park, which. Great,
Has that been approved?
That was approved,
Yeah, I remember that being approved.
yeah,
but I can
But-
also reach out to him and ask if maybe like at the March meeting that he comes out and kind of also talks about it again with the park board.
It would be nice if we could.
yeah, just to see what they need, cause it's like, hey, this year's Rather Low Country will be again at this. Be at the spacious venue as it was last year, the Ondon Municipal Park. So, and it's like a 2-day event, so they're like going out on rides and coming back, so I assume it's camp.
They usually do, yeah, you live right across from there, so just.
Well, I just know they ring a cowbell for a whole day every time someone.
Yeah.
More cowbell, yeah,
They come in and then they spend the night and then they leave that night.
yeah, so it's a Saturday to Sunday,
Yeah. But they don't come in until late in the afternoon, I don't think.
that's what they ride all day and then come in, so.
Cause aren't they
I just
coming
think-
from like Greenville? Isn't that part of their?
I'll have him come in too, because then he can kind of give the event too. It's already an approved event by the council, but they can come talk to the park board too.
Yeah.
Cause it's,
'Cause they got
I know, who went over there last year and like opened the gates and
No
all
idea.
that stuff. I don't know.
No
So,
idea.
Yeah. Cause they had to bring in a lot of cars.
So someone at the gate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it-
Yeah, I think they-
Also, I forgot to mention, but it's also a hand washing station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's separate than the porta potties, just so I have it clear in my head.
Yeah,
It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more board member comments?
Mhm.
Okay. Ken, you good?
Good.
All right, motion to adjourn?
Alright.
Thank you for your time tonight.